Good morning. This is Martin talking to you from the west coast of Canada this morning. So, first, let me start by just giving you three apologies out of four. One of them is my appearance this morning. I'm sorry if this close offends you. If it doesn't, I want to say that it offends me, but in some ways I'm rebelling, and you might find out more about that later. One of the ways it offends me is this kind of clothes reflects the concept of domestication and also of enslavement. So I'd like to apologize for that. The other one is I'll be changing headsets later after I speak. And the third apology that I want to give is that it seems that I'm already starting to run out of time so as to efficiently and clearly describe what the relevant specialties that I have are. So do you still want me to continue then? Okay, well, can I continue by describing the process I went through in preparing for this? Okay, thanks. I was thinking, hey, let's do 5 minutes, Martin, and make it very juicy and leave him wanting more. Then I thought, you know what, 8 minutes, you could probably come up with something brilliantly organized that all comes together at the end. And then I thought, you know what, is I might need to prove my competence, so maybe off. And then I had negative thoughts. Oh man, even if I do a perfect 8 minutes, like what difference would it make anyways? And then I thought, man, come on, I really would like Martin in 2021 to collaborate with even just one of you out there. So that'd be so nice. So then I realized, hey, you know what? I don't need to prove my competence because I've already done that. It's online and it's been offered to hundreds of people already, this kind of proof. So the real reason for me to keep talking right now is to see if any of you are kind of ready for collaborations with me in 2021 or beyond, and I'd love that. So I was asked to maybe talk about my life skills Humanix program, and so all I'm going to do now is just show you on my YouTube is I have Dr. Humanix channel in the magnifying glass search bar is Humanix, and then the first video comes up I think talks about that. Okay, so I have to admit now that I'm a bit confused in what I read so far about June 14th. I don't know if it's supposed to be a new Earth Day or a reinvented Earth Day, but it got me deciding that maybe I should read this quote, which is from a document I wrote about 4 years ago and I've offered to hundreds of people for free. It was indeed an amazing event when 12-year-old Severn Cullis Suzuki and her young friends spoke at the 1992 Earth Summit. However, we must ask ourselves why so many caring young people have to sacrifice so much of their lives simply to offer pleas of common decency, collaborations, and peace for all of the Earth's creatures. Indeed, what causes the need for our children to beg organizations such as the United Nations to perform their own mission of uniting nations for the greater good? Severn Cullis Suzuki's video went viral, but truly, these kinds of acts are needed every week in these big political forums. Based on my own data observations, I realize that they are now most assuredly too little too late. And this includes the forums of the UN, where business as usual is the only credo that can now be followed by all participating nations who enter the final stages of their current global proto-civilizations. So this sounds a bit, whoa, this sounds kind of pretty dread. It sounds pretty dark. Well, the thing is that after studying for so long the human condition from the outside perspective, I'll share four of my beliefs now with you that I think are unshakable, that I cannot move away from this. There's too much data pointing towards this. First, that no collaborations or global strategy for any kind of solutions would work without these four things. First, admit the enormous scope of our flaws up here due to human chauvinism. Two, most ideas I hear using technology or education or mental health are good and needed, but that None of them, even if you put them all together, will succeed unless you also do what I want to offer, which is programs to develop human thinking tools and the right foundational worldview so as to actually be connected to reality of where we are, where we're going, and having the right tools to achieve it. 3. Realize that we are past the point of saving this last of many historical proto-civilizations. So we must start with this foundational premise that we're not working on restoring the status quo, that we're actually, what my fourth belief is the only type of reliable hope to pass on to the next generation lies in the mitigation ventures after developing an ecocentric worldview. And by the way, developing an ecocentric worldview will provide individuals, activists or not, with real unshakable hope. But again, this hope is again just for mitigation ventures for future generations. So if there's any questions about this, I'd prefer getting them at the end. Okay, so again, for now, I want to say that what I'm offering, the Humanix program, I've given you the link to look it up, and that would need to be in person. The other thing is that I'm about to start the second year of offering this Master of Science in Ecocentric Sustainability. Sustainability is ecocentric, otherwise we're not talking about sustainability. And this has humanism in it, which empowers us to actually solve our own problems. So just email me at drhumanix@gmail.com and put this in the subject title and say you're interested by including your name. And I'll send you a few questions such as how committed are you on a scale of 1 to 10? And please write me a statement that you understand that this program requires, not certain prerequisite. It just requires courage and conviction of the heart. So in closing, I'd like to offer a second definition that would most certainly be needed in the context of successful collaborations, and it is the definition of Odyssey: a long and eventful or adventurous journey or experience. A long, eventful, or adventurous journey or experience. So I now realize that you're faced with the concept of faith in this short presentation of mine. Would you like me to define faith as I see it? Okay. Well, faith is, to a critical thinker, the tool of last resort. Now, I say this not because the information for you to make a good decision about whether you want to do this or not, my programs, is out there or not. It is out there. But faith is often used as a form of intellectual laziness. People use it too quickly when it should really be a last resort type of option. So again, it points to a disconnection from reality and to intellectual laziness. I can talk about that even more next time if you want. So my last quote for you is, remember, we are not humans having a Gaian experience, Gaia. We are actually, on the contrary, Gaians having a human experience. So now I'm giving you my fourth apology to finish. If this presentation was juicy in any way, I'm sorry. If it kind of came together for you in some way, I'm sorry. And also, just to show you a little bit my rebellious nature, is I am still wearing some awesome little pajama pants. All right. So thank you very much.